So the problem is, it's not even those days that matter, right? They do matter, obviously, especially the half days, right? So if you thought, oh, well, I'll just jump in and trade on the half days. The problem with that is we are not, as retail traders, we are not the ones that move the market. It's institutional investors that move the market. Well, guess what? Those folks like to take a lot of time off. You know what I mean? So if you think they're going to be trading on, on those half days, you're kind of out of your mind. Okay, if you go to the big firms, they'll have some intern manning the positions, but on a very short leash, right? So
Hmm.
it's the liquidity that becomes a problem, whether it's this time of year, whether it's before Thanksgiving, 4th of July. There's these periods in the US markets where you have to be careful because the liquidity dries up. So, what does that mean for us retail traders? Well, you might have a really great setup and you might get a decent fill on your entry price, but then the liquidity dries up a couple of days later because we're getting close to the holidays. Now you try to get out of that position, and all of a sudden you're finding less people on the other side of the trade, and it widens out the bid ask spread. It makes things challenging. The costs become prohibitive sometimes. So there's a lot of bad things that can happen, right? So for me, not only am I cautiously active right now, but the closer we get to these holidays, I'm going to be even less active because the rest of the market is going to be in that same kind of thing. So, this week is fine, right? I think there'll be lots of liquidity this week, but early next week, you have to really be careful though. So I kind of look at it that way. And there's one other thing that Coach Gino talks about all the time is I'm actively looking right now at my longer term portfolio. And I know that we're having some holidays come up, and I know that we're getting some, we're getting into the new year next year. Well, I want to be collecting theta over that time. So I'm actually looking at my long-term portfolio and I'm sitting there going, okay, what is my current cash flow level? Can I increase that logically so that even when the market is closed or when there is little liquidity, I can keep collecting some extra cash? So those are kind of the two ways that I look at, these holiday shortened weeks
So
and
you try to
periods.
get ahead of the holiday period with theta in advance, right?
Well, I think you have to. I think you
And,
have to.
and on the liquidity, one of the things on liquidity on individual trades too, right? An illiquid time period can cause, more havoc on the individual stock level, right? Like it wouldn't surprise me to see the SPY, right, be okay, right? Even in low volume during those time periods. But maybe on an individual level, that lack of liquidity, is that kind of what you're speaking to?
Yeah, so the S&P 500, the spiders, as you put it, it's so highly traded that even on the most illiquid days, it's still fine, right? But individual ones that maybe they normally trade 500,000 shares. Well, on a liquid day, maybe they're only trading 200,000 shares. Well, there's a massive difference between those two numbers, and there's going to be a massive difference between the bid and ask for both the stock and the options, right? So you don't want to find yourself in that position. Now, you take something like SPY or Apple or Amazon, all these things. Like Apple trades what, 60 million shares a day or something crazy like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
always going to be liquid. But if you have individual names that are just so liquid during a normal day, during these periods, it's going to be much tougher. So my thing is we have 220 trading days a year essentially. Okay, if it means I take a couple of weeks off and not get caught by the liquidity bug, you know what I mean? Like not get myself into a situation I don't want to get into, I'll take some time off and just sit back and relax. My portfolio will still be there next year. There'll still be opportunity to make money next year too. So I just find that at the end of the year, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you could get caught in a situation that is of no doing of your own, right? Like it's not a mistake that you necessarily made, but it's just a natural way the markets function, and you find yourself caught in a situation where maybe you've got to like we've got options expiration this Friday, right? The monthly December options this Friday. Well, again, we're getting close to those holidays. You may want to take a careful look and say, okay, you know, do I need to do something before Friday? Do I need to roll, out to January? Do I need to close some things? You want to look at those things before that that potentially illiquid position comes along. So yeah, you do have to watch the individual stocks, but just generally speaking, liquidity. The first thing I learned from my one of my favorite mentors I've had many of them, but like he drilled it into me like Coach Carter. He drilled in liquidity into my head because he'd been on the Chicago Board of Exchange for 40 years. He knew that the biggest thing that they had to deal with was liquidity. Well, guess what? As a retail trader, it's even more important. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing I focus on all the time. I used to, when I first started trading many years ago, I traded illiquid stocks. I had to learn the hard way that what there's a massive cost when that bid ask widens out. The price you have to pay to get in and out, that is a cost of doing business in addition to your commissions. And when it's 1 or 2 pennies wide, like it is for the SPY or Apple, that's fine. When it's 50 cents to $1 to $2 to $5 wide, all of a sudden it's very, very hard to make a living that way. So it's the most important concept.